Well, hello, good afternoon, or good morning, wherever and whenever you are listening or watching this video. Thank you so much for the last video's views. Over 1,000. I am ecstatic. Can't you tell? Of course you can tell. But the discussion today is the Bentancur Palhinha pivot. And while I don't have a problem with it, I'm going to tell you how I feel about it based on how the game is going later on. But when you look at Frank coming in, we as a team, as a club, have been giving up upwards of 60 goals for the past maybe 4 or 5 seasons. And so to rectify that, I think Frank go to the tried and proven, like what Unai Emery did when he took over Aston Villa, was to make sure that you are solid at the back and you're going to build the team from the back. And so going to a back four, putting Palhinha and Bentancur in the midfield has stemmed the tide wherein we are being scored upon often, or as often, or not being scored upon as often as we used to. So you get that part out the way, where now you have a reliance on, or a reliable 7, the goalkeeper, the 4 at the back, and the midfield. And so you can build a team from there, because you're looking to make sure, like I said, you're not always chasing the game. Is it a little boring? Maybe for some people. I don't see it as being boring. I see it as being solid. I see it as being more proactive in wanting to make sure that we're not really chasing the game. However, I will look at it this way. Once you get past the first 45 minutes into halftime, you can assess what is going on, and you can say, well, now I need game changers. And who are my game changers? No, maybe I don't need to go with Palhinha and Bentancur as deep as I often do in other games. Now I need to start bringing in the Bergvalls, bringing Sarr, bringing the Greys, moving maybe Javis Simons, to the left, doing something creative to start making the team looks different. And so that is where I would have the difference with Frank holding on to that 2-man pivot for far too long. But in fairness, I would say that he has made the team stronger by starting from the back, using Palhinha and Bentancur to add that steel and that spine into the team. But as we know and as we see, it is not going to look pretty if we don't have some form of creativity and a scoring goal at the front end of the team. We see that. We see that we're lacking in except from really kudos in the attack. And that is stemmed from not having a creative player. But in lieu of that, if you're not going to win the game, you cannot lose the game. You have to make sure that you give yourself a chance. What says